This is ESPN. Yes, it's a third party, but it's what the boxer is saying to the third party. And there's some there's some words, key words, that's telling you that Spence said this and Spence said that in an interview. Just like he has an interview with everybody else, and you take it and run with it, this is the same thing. ESPN interview. Okay? Where was this? August 26, 2021, Mike Carpenter. Errol Spence says he's grateful he caught the eye injury. See, this is what the other fairy tale YouTubers are saying. He didn't catch it. It got caught. The eye injury got caught in an eye examination that he did not know until he took the eye examination in Vegas or some shit. So Errol Spence says he's grateful he caught the eye injury in time before it threatened his career. So let's go down to what Errol Spence is saying. Yo, here we go. Errol Spence Jr. suffered a retinal detachment in his left eye during sparring. Key word, sparring. All right? Weeks before his scheduled fight with Manny Pacquiao, the 31-year-old unified welterweight champion told. Another key word is told. Told. It's right before ESPN. He told him. He got it in sparring. He told them. Right? Now, during a session at the world-class boxing gym in downtown, where? Dallas. So he caught his eye injury in Dallas. Spence said he felt something amiss, stopped the session. In other words, what session? A sparring session. And said, my eye, my goodness, my eye. So when I hear Blue or anybody, I don't care who it is, talk about, oh yeah, he got it, but he didn't know he got it until he went to Vegas. Now let me proceed. Despite his left eye not being right, Spence did tell ESPN that he sparred again 2 days later. And then during the pre-schedule, now we're talking about a pre-scheduled medical checkup in Dallas. The following day, his fears were confirmed. So guess what? The sparring happened in Dallas. The eye injury happened in Dallas, right? And then he got a pre-scheduled examination in Dallas the following day. Does not say nothing about, oh, he didn't know he had his eye injury until he got his pre-medical examination. No, he knew before, and then he knew after in Dallas. Now, the Spence was told not to spar until he was examined by an eye specialist. You don't want to lose your eye, the doctor warned him. After consulting with PBC founder Al Heyman, Spence immediately traveled to Las Vegas. Now we moving to Las Vegas now. This is his second eye examination and his pre-examination. Here we go. Traveled to Las Vegas on August 8th for his comprehensive pre-fight medical testing. The eye examination was conducted August 9th by ophthalmologist Dr. Thomas F. Kelly, who told him he couldn't fight. And you got to get that eye fixed ASAP. You see what it says? ASAP. All right, so we know what he said to ESPN, right? And that's what he said. That's not what ESPN said. So let's take a look at this accident and let's compare it. He had an accident in his Ferrari, Lamborghini, whatever it is, flipped it over. He got tossed out of it. Thank God he wasn't wearing a seatbelt. He got tossed out of it. He survived. He didn't have no major injuries. Great. And he is the truth. And what I mean by that, he was telling the truth. He said when he gets back, he wants Danny Garcia, Manny Pacquiao, or Bud Crawford. And he stuck to his word. And from there, I was like, oh man, this man, he's the truth. He's the truth. He's telling the truth. So he ended up fighting Danny Garcia. So he got cleared. He got cleared. That means they did an eye examination. They checked his bones. They checked his heart rate. They checked everything. And he got cleared from that accident. So that's stricken from the record. All right? That's stricken from the record. Then he moved on and had this accident in sparring. See, there's a difference. I would have been more lenient because he had that on real life time. He had that on his time, right? He had that on life, and things happen in life, right? Things happen in life. No need to be judgmental, but things happen in life. So now this thing with the sparring and his eye, that's on work time. That's on work time, man. And the way I see it, these fighters come in and out with injuries. They fight with injuries. They come out with injuries. They train with injuries. Sometimes you don't even know what an injury it is. We don't want to hear no excuses about Lopez's elbow and why he didn't win the fight. I ain't listening. I ain't trying to hear that, right? So, you know, I was listening to the Showbiz, and he was making some comparisons about, you know, back then fighters and how, you know, like Sugar Ray, he said, if you ever saw his live, he was talking about how Sugar Ray took 5 years off, went up to middleweight to fight Hagler. Now, yeah, I seen that fight. I thought Hagler win, but officially, Sugar Ray won the fight. And he was out for 5 years. So, you know, I would use that, but you know what's better to use? I'm going to tell you what's better to use. Because those are throwback fighters, right? And every generation is different in the way they see things. So, I'm going to give you an example right here. Should I do the Manny Pacquiao example? No. Because, well, yeah. But then after that, I'm going to give you a better one. Oh, yeah, I'm going to give you a better one. Right? And I always say, you don't want to say Manny Pacquiao was out for 2 years. Nobody want to hear no excuses. Am I right, Spence and Crawford friends? You didn't want to hear no excuses that Manny Pacquiao was for 2 years. Manny Pacquiao got a 2-week notice, right? 2-week notice that they switching opponents on him. No excuses. And you can see my proof that I'm a man. And I said in one of my videos, I made a whole video, scroll down and say no regrets, no excuses. Simple. That man chose to get in that ring after 2 years not fighting. That man chose, Manny Pacquiao chose to get a change of an opponent within 2 weeks. A notice, training for a southpaw, but end up fighting orthodox. And his thing was saying, well, listen, I fight orthodox. This shouldn't be hard. And guess what? Everybody thought that Manny was going to be Ugas, and it didn't happen. So I don't feel no kind of way that he lost, because, you know, yeah, Spence is on another time. People say, nah, Spence going to win. Manny Pacquiao going to lose. But Ugas was training for a southpaw. I don't understand how that is, but let me go a little bit deeper. Let's not use Manny Pacquiao. Even though he's a perfect example because he's 42 years old and he's doing these things at 42. He's not 31. He's not 34 like Spence and Crawford, right? But y'all want to pass, right? So let me give you another example. All right, Ugas and Jamal James. Now, I recall that fight with Ugas and Jamal James. Ugas was off 2 years, 3 months. That's like 800 and something days, right? Jamal, he fought the month before the fight with Ugas, right? Ugas was preparing himself to fight an opponent that was southpaw. Sounds familiar? That was southpaw. But he got a 3-day notice, or maybe a week or so notice, that Jamal James is going to be your opponent. The opponent that you had, Ugas, the southpaw, he's not fighting. And Jamal James, let's not forget Jamal James, even though he was just got off a fight a month ago, he got 3-day notice. He got the 3-day notice that he's fighting Ugas. So you got Ugas thinking he's going to fight southpaw. He ended up fighting Jamal James. Jamal James just got off a fight a month ago. So, you know, he's still fresh. But then he gets a 3-day notice that he's fighting Ugas. Miss me with what, nigga? Say it again. Miss me with what? So all these excuses about, well, Errol was... Let me give you the excuses right here. Check this right here, man. Let me give you one excuse. Don't y'all want 100% Bud Crawford and 100% Errol Spence? Bud Crawford, he just dropped Top rank. Yeah, I'm screaming, bitch. Top rank. So let's see the business side of how Crawford's going to do what he's going to do in order to get this fight. Third excuse. Blame it on the WBA. Blame it on the WBA because they messed it up. Well, okay. They messed up one part, but the other part is there. The fourth excuse. 50-50. 60-40. Whatever. 80. All this shit, right? Which I'm going to do a video about 50-50. I'm going to explain to you what's going on with 50-50. Because I said in my last video, it's all about the respect. But it's more than that. It's more than that. And I'm going to give it to you Errol's way. And I'm going to give it to you Bud Crawford's way. And I'm going to explain to you why. Yeah, they both need each other. But one can't make a move without the other. But I'll leave that for the next video. Next video. So I'm hearing all these excuses that, well, we need 100% Errol Spence. Listen, man, he got that at work time. He got that at sparring. And he had a good medical examiner. He got a good ophthalmologist because a detached retina is all of a sudden healed. And it's great and dandy right now. So, I don't want to hear about 100% because there ain't nobody. Actually, no one's never 100%. All right? And if they're 100% and they're not 100%, they ain't going to tell you. They leave it for after the fight and say, well, my elbow, my shoulder, my calf, so cramp, whatever. But the best excuse is no excuse. He was a better man that day, and that's the end of it, right? And that's the way I feel, okay? I'm a Manny Pacquiao fan, but I'm just going to tell you how it is. Regardless, I'm a Manny Pacquiao fan or any fan, I don't want to hear no excuses. That's it, all right? So, the man decided to get in that ring after being out 2 years. The man got in that ring, getting a notice for 2 weeks. Same thing with Ugas and Jamal James. Ugas was out 2 years, 3 months, got in that ring. And the reason why I'm using these comparisons, because if I use Manny Pacquiao to Ugas, you will say, well, look what happened to Manny Pacquiao. He lost being out 2 years. No excuses. But then I use it on Jamal James and Ugas out being 2 years and 3 months, and he beat Jamal James. He beat Jamal James, all right? So, and I could use the Sugar Ray Leonard. I could use a lot of things. But right now, I'm not using that excuse. I don't want to hear that excuse about his eye. I don't, because that's what, you know what? That's why I think y'all be stepping on your dicks. Y'all be stepping on your dicks because 1 minute y'all be saying, I don't want to hear no excuses about Manny Pacquiao being old. I don't want to hear no excuses about his calves cramping up. I don't want to hear no excuses that he was out for 2 years. I don't want to hear no excuses 2 week notice to fight Ugas. I don't want to hear it. But when it comes to your boxer, you got a lot to say about, well, he was out 2 years. He needs a tune-up. Listen, what did Errol Spence say? See, this is why I keep these receipts. What did Errol Spence say? Errol Spence said, listen, tune-ups are for people boxers that's not sure of themselves. Tune-ups are for boxers not sure of themselves. That's what he said about boxers taking tune-ups. And that was just recently. Actually, that was after the fight, I think. I don't know. After the Crawford and Porter fight. He said that. So, regardless if it's money, like I said, the next video we'll be talking about that, or whatever it is, I'm telling you, I don't want to hear these channels talk about, oh, he needs a tune-up. Oh, the condition of his eye. Because this is all we got. This is all we got right now. Ugas is out the picture. Ugas out the picture right now. He's going through a tournament with Standonius. After he beats Standonius, he's going to have to fight Butnev. Now, Butnev already beat Jamal James. Butnev is somebody to look out, and I'm watching Butnev. Because if it comes down to it where it's Ugas versus Butnev, that's still a fight. Because if you watch that fight with Butnev and Jamal James, what did he do? He switched. He switched. So I'm keeping my eye on Butnev. He's strong Russian. I'm not going to count him out just because whatever. And then I hear these channels talking about, I'm hearing shit about throw Butnev to Jaron Ennis. You can't do it. You can't throw Boots to Jaron Ennis. Not right now. He's in a tournament, and whoever wins the tournament got to fight Butnev between Udenis and Standonius. Simple as that. So I hear people say, yeah. But the fight will be either Standonius or Butnev or Ugas or Butnev. That's it. And Errol Spence got nothing to do with that right now. Even though the contract was signed to say these two were supposed to fight, done deal. It ain't happening. WBA is blocking the situation. That's it. So let's stop talking about what Butnev should do. Butnev is doing the tournament, and what Ugas should do. Because we don't know the outcome between these three fighters right now in the tournament. Jamal is not there no more. He lost. So now I'm saying to myself, where we go from there? Well, we stuck on unifying with Bud Crawford and Errol Spence. And I'm already hearing excuses about ring rust, eye injury, 100%. Errol Spence needs to be 100%. Man, he was sparring. What if he sparred again and something happened? He was sparring somebody that was reenacting Manny Pacquiao, and then his my eye. Come on, man. There's no more excuses, man. I laid it down on the line about fighters taking off 2 years, 3 years. Man, sometimes these fighters fight once a year. So there was nothing physically. He had Blu-ray. He was training. It was just his eye. He's still on time. He could go and fight a fight. He could fight Bud Crawford. Listen, you know who's knocking on the door? I keep telling y'all. Speedy Rashid Ellis, Ben Connor, Virgil Ortiz, and Boots. They all got their time, and it's coming. Errol and Bud, Errol and Bud. Bud is like 34. Errol's like 31. These two got to come together and make this fight, because this is going to be the biggest payday, both of them. What's the biggest payday that Errol Spence? 8 million. What's the biggest Bud made? 7 million, something like that. Listen, the next video I'll be talking about what can happen with this 50-50 and how I see it and how it is wrong and how is it right. All right? And I'm going to explain to you what I'm talking about with the 50-50. But for now, stop with the injuries, man. Because I can see Manny Pacquiao laughing at y'all, man. I can see the throwback fighters, Muhammad Ali, Sugar Ray, Hagler, Hearns. I can see them all laughing like that. This is some soft shit, man. Some soft baby shit. Conversation about, we don't hear that, man. Spence fans, they trying to make sure that, and guess what? If Spence loses, they're going to say his eye, right? Aren't y'all going to say his eye? But you ain't want any excuses about Manny Pacquiao. Stop and think about that. Stop right there and think about, I don't give a fuck about Manny Pacquiao. Well, guess what? I don't give a fuck about Errol Spence. If you feel that way, see, I don't care how you feel about the fighter. I am talking about the act. I don't give a fuck. You don't give a fuck, I don't give a fuck. But that's not the fucking problem right here. The problem is the act. How boxers move in here, and then you don't want them to move the same way there. That's the problem. It's not the fucking fighter. Different face, different time, whatever. It's the act. If these fighters are doing certain things, 2 years off, switch of a fighter, opponent, 2 weeks, 3 days. Come on, man. I don't want to hear that excuse. I'm done with it. And that's the end of it. I don't want to hear nothing about no damn he's been off 2 years. I don't want to hear nothing about his eye. Let's just keep that shit simple. Y'all keep stepping on your dicks with that bullshit. I don't want to hear no excuses, yo. I don't care about 100%, 99, 90%. Stop it. Stop it right now. Blaming the WBA. Yeah, I give them... what the hell? The WBA is trying to have a tournament where we this close to having an undisputed and a unification with Ugas. I don't get it, but there's always some conspiracy or background shit that we don't know. And I don't care right now. Because I see 2 champions that ain't making this shit work. They ain't putting 2 sticks to make a fucking spark or a flame. That's the way I see it. Now the 50-50, let's get into the next video. I'm going to explain something about this. Who sells and who's not selling. And listen, I'm not here to change your mind. I'm here for you to read between the lines. I'm trying to give you lines to read between and of actions of other boxers and what they had to go through. And also what Errol Spence and Bud Crawford should do. And don't give them no excuses. Because there's a yellow brick road that Manny Pacquiao left. But guess what? That's not your fighter, so you don't give a... You're so glad. Like I said, you always had a hard on for this man to leave. But he left a load of shit, of trails, of vintage Manny Pacquiao for you to freaking do yourself. Ugas did it. Jamal James did it. This is life, man. Shit ain't guaranteed. Yo, I gotta go. Yo, have a good one, or whatever. I don't care. I'm done. But just remember what I said. This is real shit here. You ain't got no time for no damn. We need 100% Spence and his eye. He didn't get that outside the ring. He got it inside the ring. He got it on work time. Fucking act like you want comp time.